Hi, I'm Melissa Deely, and I'm one of the founders and trainers at Amplify Results Coaching and Amplify Impact Academy. And today I want to share my story with you. You see, I wasn't always a trainer in these four mind body healing modalities that we train people in. I started out in the corporate world. And I spent 24 years there, and I had a fantastic career. I loved it until one day, big fish bought little fish, and suddenly everything changed. And in that moment, when I was given just 1 hour to clear out my desk and no word of thanks, I realized three things. I never wanted to work for someone else again. I had no idea what was next for me. However, I knew that whatever I did, it needed to be of benefit to the planet and humanity. And later that year, I stumbled upon a company that specialized in brain health. And that fascinated me because I knew I had a brain and I knew I used it 24/7. And I knew that we had near epidemic levels of Alzheimer's and dementia. And it also made me think about my grandmother, who was 99 years old at the time, living at home, caring for herself, and fully cognitively functioning. So I knew I had good genes, but something inside of me said, is that enough? And so I decided to dive in and learn more about brain health supplements and nutrition for the brain. And shortly thereafter, my eldest daughter got a concussion during her first grade 12 soccer game of the season. And she had already been using this brain health supplement, and I had already been working with physiotherapists because I knew some of the benefits of this particular supplement were very helpful for people with concussion symptoms. And so I immediately jumped in and started guiding her healing journey. I wasn't working full time, and I had time to support her. And then my younger daughter got a concussion. It was about 2 months later. I was driving down the highway to Vancouver when I got a call from the high school asking me to go pick her up because she had a suspected concussion. And in that moment, I literally looked across the horizon up at the heavens and said, really? This is how you show me my path? Please stop taking out my children. And there I found myself now helping both daughters recovering from two very different concussions. And word quickly spread in our small town, and I started getting calls from friends and other people asking for advice for people in their family that had concussions. And just organically, I started helping others on their healing journey. And then before long, I found myself being invited to work at a holistic clinic to support others on their concussion healing journey. And I was really interested in doing that. However, when I tried to get liability insurance to work at that clinic, I was turned down because I didn't have a certification. So that made me reach out to a friend of mine who is a very successful life coach. And I'd had life coach as being a career possibility in the back of my head ever since I'd been let go, and it really hadn't landed. Except now I needed a certification. So I asked him, where did you do your training? I would like to do my training at the same place. And his response was, you don't need to be a life coach. You need to be a health coach. And in that moment, again, I went, what? What's that? I had never even heard the term before, and yet it landed so beautifully and immediately felt right. So that very night, I started researching health coaching schools, and I found one that aligned with my vision, my passion for brain health and overall health, and I jumped in with both feet. And since that moment, I have never looked back. You see, once I got in there, I started learning about my own body. And I realized, how is it that I am in my 40s and I have no idea how my body works? And what if I could teach others what I'm learning? And I realized very quickly that I was deeply passionate about this because there were so many small steps that I could be taking to improve my health. And now that I knew them, of course, why wouldn't I take them? And so as I continued my journey through health coaching school, I was then introduced to the Integrative Health organization where I could learn how to run functional medicine lab tests, which would allow me to show my clients exactly what was happening inside their bodies, where the imbalances were, as well as their toxicities, their nutrition or nutrient deficiencies. And then from there, I could write them a wellness plan as to how they could heal naturally. And I really loved the idea of helping people get to the root cause of their health concerns and not, covering symptoms up with band-aids. So I jumped in and started learning that. And then once I completed that program, I started working with clients. And I realized very quickly something that was interesting. Some clients could follow their protocols while others couldn't. And I started questioning myself. Am I not a good coach? How come they can't follow it? They have the best of intentions and yet they can't follow it. And as I was questioning myself, I had a naturopathic doctor reach out to me after seeing some of my posts on social media. And she wanted to chat with me about the 4 most powerful mind body healing modalities in the world. And of course, I was intrigued. And as she and I spoke, she was talking to me about the unconscious mind. And I realized that was the missing piece. And it turned out that the reason some clients struggled was due to unconscious programming that was holding them back. And if I could learn to help people rewire that programming, then they could live their best life without those barriers and they wouldn't be stuck anymore. And so, again, I jumped in and I took training in NLP, neuro linguistic programming, timeline therapy, hypnotherapy, and NLP results coaching. And it literally changed my life. And I loved it so much because this was so powerful. And I was now seeing my clients get results that I continued on to the master practitioner level, which then allowed me to actually guarantee results for my clients. And that was really cool because there isn't another coaching industry out there where people can guarantee their results. But because we are working with the unconscious mind, we can do that. And I soon realized that I wanted to have even greater impact. And rather than working with people just one to one, I needed to actually train other coaches and practitioners in these modalities so that we could create an army of people that could be out there helping others get unstuck and step into their own magnificence. And that's why I became a trainer. And that's how I've ended up here talking to you right now. And I'm so excited that you're here, that you're looking at this website. And I hope my passion, you can feel it through this video. And I'd love to chat with you about how these tools can enhance your life. Just recently, I was diagnosed with melanoma, and I use these tools to follow my own healing protocol rather than the traditional medical model of chemo and radiation. And I share my story in our prac training. So you'll just have to come here, attend the training to hear the whole story. Or you can check out my podcast, which is called Don't Wait for Your Wake Up Call. Check out episode 171. So if my story resonates with you, I invite you to book a call with us and let's see where you're at and whether the tools that we offer can be your next best step to a more empowered life. So click the button, book a call, and let's connect. Sending you much love. And I look forward to talking to you soon.